Welcome to Occupational Queerpy, a podcast run by an occupational therapy student exploring the intersection of occupational therapy and the LGBTQIA+ experience. This podcast offers personal perspectives for informational and educational purposes only. We'll be discussing a wide range of LGBTQIA+ topics, and to authentically reflect the community, we'll be using common and slang terms which some listeners may find explicit. Listener discretion is advised.
Recording live. Hello.
Hello. Okay, we're live. Hello, everyone.
Yay.
Welcome to Occupational Queerpy. Here we go. I'm your host, Trent. And who do I have here today?
I'm Taylor. I'm a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, an ally of the pod. We have a straight woman in the house, everyone. Yes, I'll add some applause in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for this episode, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself. This is my capstone project. I'm an occupational therapy student in Arkansas. So I just wanted to, introduce myself, tell you why I'm doing my capstone. I felt weird just talking to myself, so that's why we have my classmate, roommate, bestie here. This is Taylor. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're both students, occupational therapy students.
Yes.
We're in our last semester.
Mm-hmm.
Blonde. You're kind of have brown hair.
Yeah.
Light brown.
Light brown.
Light brown.
Yeah.
I have fake blonde hair right now, but it's usually like a sandy blonde, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
I'm 24 years old.
I'm 21.
Yeah. So not legally, but in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do we even say what school we go to? Do we need to do that?
I mean, you could say it, but you could always edit it out.
Yeah. If it's bad. If this flops, we'll edit it out. But we go to the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education.
Mm-hmm.
In Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're actually the inaugural class, so we'll be the first ever graduating class in 3 months?
Yeah,
That's
May
crazy.
17.
That's crazy. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, my name's Trent. Like I said, I'm just gonna talk. You insert your allyship
in.
whenever.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so about me, a little bit about me. Why I'm doing a gay podcast. So I myself am a gay male. I'm from the Fort Smith area, actually. Grew up in rural Arkansas, middle of nowhere. Had a class of 29, so super, super tiny southern school. So, yeah, as a gay kid, it kind of sucked. I didn't really know what gay was, except that it was bad. That's just what I heard. That was the rumor. So I never really was out in school. Everyone called me gay and other words. I'll say it. This is a safe space. Fag. That's allowed. I'm not even going to bleep it. That's allowed. Because I'm gay.
Can I say it?
No. No. Hey, first tip, straight people watching this, do not say fag. Do not say faggot. That is not your word. That is my word. I earned it, okay?
I just wanted to ask to give you the opportunity to educate us.
Educational moment. Thank you,
I just
Taylor.
want people to know. I already knew. That was for you guys.
She knew that. Yeah. Shout out. Okay, speaking of that word, I have a story I can share that I think pretty much it sums up my high school experience pretty well. So I was on the basketball team growing up. My parents made me do it. I kind of hated it, but I was pretty good at it. Besides the point. But you know how male locker rooms are, just absolutely terrifying. Mm-hmm. Toxic masculinity running rampant. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But I recall this one experience. We were getting dressed like after a practice or game or whatever, and one of the kids comes up to me and he says, "Trent, if I ever find out you're a faggot, I will find you and I will beat the shit out of you." And like it stuck with me. That stuck with me for a long time. Like, it's still stuck with me, honestly.
Yeah.
But Yeah, but it was rough. It sucked for sure. But I was talking to my mom a few months ago just about gay shit. You know, I'm out to her now, and she's great. But I was just asking her questions and stuff about when I was younger, and she's like, "Yeah, you had a lot of days where, like, you had a lot of sick days in school where you just wouldn't get out of bed, and we didn't know what was wrong." And looking back now, definitely like the anxiety, depression. I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression later in adulthood, but yeah, definitely prevented me from being out there like 100%, you know, just doing me. So yeah, a lot of that growing up. So I was super in the closet, even though everyone knew. Got to college, undergrad, still in the closet. Came out of the closet eventually, but still was kind of like not comfortable with the sexuality thing. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the hate I experienced when I was younger, and you know, the fear that comes with that, it followed me to undergrad, and it definitely prevented me from putting myself out there. I definitely held back, and that's kind of a regret I had, but it's a real fear, you know? Like my undergrad was not even an hour and a half away from where I grew up. So always in my mind was like, what if people got word that I was doing gay shit? You know, what if like I go home and visit, like, will I get beat up? Will someone beat the shit out of me? Will my family disown me? Will they be embarrassed of me? Like my grandpa, my grandpa's a pastor. I'm like, what if his congregation finds out that the preacher's grandson's gay? Like, he'll be ashamed. Like, everyone will hate him. Everyone will hate me. Like, there's just so many factors that went into it. And I think it all accumulated into a lot of fear, anxiety, depression. So it was a rough time. Got to grad school. I'm an old man now. I told a lie on the podcast. I said I forgot what I said. I think I said I was 24. I'm 28 now. Okay, so I'm an old soul at this point. I'm withering away.
And an old body.
Old body and old body, young soul. Here we go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll take that. So yeah, I've had some years to like find myself, not hate myself. Hate myself less.
Yeah, let's be honest.
So that's why I'm here. Once I got to grad school, like I said, we're occupational therapy students, but when I got to our program, it's a pretty small campus, but I made it a point. I'm like, I want to get involved as much as possible. Like, I want to make my presence known. I want to make my gayness known. Not that I was just like yelling that I was gay everywhere, but I was just wanting to be like unapologetically myself, which is very gay. So, and I think doing that really helped me just accept myself more. I just said, F it, let's just do it. So throughout grad school, occupational therapy school, you know, research. It's a doctoral program, so a lot of research. Some would say too much. Not me.
Some would.
Not us.
I've heard some people say
we love it. But I found a lot of like we got opportunities to research stuff we were interested in, and I felt a lot of it like leaned towards just like LGBTQIA plus stuff, just the concept of sexuality, how it affects occupations and whatnot. And actually like my first little like taste of the idea of this podcast, it was actually us and another friend and classmate.
What's her name?
Faith. Shout out Faith. We can bleep it out if you don't want to be in this, but Faith. Oh, Sam. Hello. We have Sam on the podcast, everyone.
That'll be really good ASMR.
Yeah.
His like nose sniffing.
He just had lunch, so he's a little lethargic. We all get like that though. But yeah, we did a project in, what was the name of the class?
I couldn't tell you the name.
Innovation. No.
That was one of the names, but there were entrepreneurship.
I think it was innovation and entrepreneurship. Anyways, we were doing a project where we had to create this like novel idea, and we came up with the idea of just like a comprehensive sex ed podcast. And I was with two straight women, so we just did like just a general sex ed thing, and it was good. Like, we pumped it out. It was really nice. And then that kind of gave me the idea. I'm like, oh, podcast is fun. People love hearing what I have to say. So I'm like, what if I make it a gay? Begging. The people are begging. And I'm like, what if I make it a gay podcast? And, you know,
that's never been done before, I don't think.
This may be the first gay podcast.
The inaugural
LGBTQIA
plus.
Hey, put on the record, this is the first gay podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, that's kind of where this idea was born. And the need for it, I'm sure some people are like, stop shoving gay shit down our throats. Like, we get it, guys. Like, we're fine, y'all are fine. But crazy thing. So for this podcast, like, part of my like capstone goals was like, you know, marketing, because I want people to listen, right? So I made a TikTok account, as young hip people do, and I created an occupational queer piece of name. Go follow it if you want. But literally, we made a post. Like, we're snowed in right now, guys. This is a snow day, so like, we just made a lot of videos yesterday. Posted our first one. I don't even think it was a full 5 minutes. 5 minutes after posting, someone commented something hateful. And, like, not even 5 minutes. It was crazy. And I think that just shows the need. I feel like as a society, we've come a long ways, for the most part, in the past few decades. But there's obviously still hate out there. People need to be educated, you know. But educating people like that, you know, like art, it's out of the question for me right now. Like, haters gonna hate. But what I can do is educate the people that interact with queer people and genuinely want to be better, you know, and learn about this community so they can provide the best care possible, you know. So that's kind of why I'm wanting to do this podcast and speak to OT practitioners. Yeah. It was a blank profile. I went and looked at their stuff, no face or anything. That's usually the people that do it. But
the
it's
brave
like,
people.
What did he say? It was like,
man supports.
Like, bro supports men taking dick.
Everybody's fighting a battle that you know nothing about. I think that's very important to acknowledge.
Yeah. And
people hurt people.
And the fact that Mr. Arch, it like popped up on his For You page, because it's not like I did like crazy hashtags or anything. It was just OT
his algorithm.
Hashtag. The algorithm pulled up a gay queer therapy podcast
with no views.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably the first view.
Yeah.
Immediately whenever it was posted, the algorithm was like, this guy needs this.
Yeah.
According to everything else that he already watches.
Exactly.
So what does that say?
Arch, if you're watching, I hope you learned something today. We're here to educate. We're here to teach.
And empower people.
And empower. I don't know if you're a OT practitioner, Coda, Arch, wherever you are. I'm just going to dedicate this entire podcast to Arch. I'm doing this for you, buddy.
At least the first episode.
At least. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Side. We'll edit this out or in wherever I need.
We'll just see.
Yeah, we'll see. Arch, wherever you are, Mr. Blink profile, this episode 1 is dedicated to you. Can we get a cheers to that? Let's energy drinks to Arch. Cheers. Amazing. Okay, so I guess we kind of introduced my capstone. So what is it going to be? I made a little trailer introduction episode, which is just like a short little snippet, but I guess I can go more into detail. So for creating this capstone, we kind of had like a literature review. We've been doing this. I don't know how other programs do it, but we have been doing capstone stuff for so freaking long. Like, was it first semester? Maybe second semester. Like, we had like an intro to capstone class.
I think it had to have been first semester, honestly.
Yeah, where they were like, okay, guys. Yeah, don't quote us, guys. Dr. Moore,
never
don't quote
us on anything, first of all.
But, like, literally from the jump, they're like, okay, guys, time to start thinking. So, obviously, it's changed a lot throughout our time here. But
mine has not changed at all, funny enough.
See, shout out Taylor.
Which I will say, he says we a lot, But in reality, I have nothing to do with his capstone with this podcast. I'm here today because he didn't want to just like talk to a camera or to a microphone alone. But I will not be here from here on out, most likely, and unless he like is scrambling and just needs another guest. I really have nothing to contribute. I'm just here. I'm a sounding board.
Yeah,
truly, that's my role in this, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and we love her for that. And she helped decorate the set.
Yeah.
She gave some advice. She gave some advice on the lighting, cinematography. So what you see here today, like, is largely contributed to her, but she's not going to be in the credits. She'll be in the credits for being a guest speaker today.
I'm the unsung hero of this whole thing.
Exactly. Someone's got to do it.
I love how I went from being like, I have nothing to do with this to like, actually, I am all of it.
I created this.
Yeah. It would be nothing without me.
Yeah. So we're thankful for her. And it's a snow day, and I don't want to do a Zoom call. So she's here to hear what Capstone is about. So anyway, literature review. We've been working on this a long time. And through my literature review, I kind of came up with like some topics that I kind of want each episode to be about. So definitely going to do like an intro to LGBTQIA plus stuff. So if you just are like super beginner, which is okay, like thank you for being here. We're just going to explain like a lot of the general queer stuff. Here, first lesson, queer stuff. When I say queer, like it used to be like a slur. Was it a slur? It was a derogatory term.
That's definitely how they meant it.
Yeah. So back in the day, queer was like used as a derogatory term. Now, some LGBTQIA plus people have used the term queer as an umbrella term. It's not used derogatorily. When I say it, it's just kind of umbrella. Instead of saying LGBTQIA plus, queer covers all of that. Okay.
Yeah. And I think there's a difference, like both queer and the F slur were used as derogatory words back in the day and currently. And I think queer is a word that everybody is still able to say as long as you like use it with the right intent. But the F slur, no, like only.
You can't say faggot. She can't say faggot.
Who can say it? Let's start there.
Queer people can say it.
I don't think lesbians can say it.
Really?
And my understanding was just gay men.
Okay, let's listen to the straight woman here.
Yeah, everybody listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Maybe like honestly, I don't know, but that's just I've never heard like in this new era of the F slur where people are like reclaiming it.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard gay men say it.
That's true.
Or maybe like
I mean, that's a good point because there is like a slur used to describe lesbian women.
What is it?
Oh, I'm not going to say it. It starts with a D.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that was used as like a derogatory term, and lesbians are starting to reclaim that. I don't think I can say that word.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe the F word is... See, okay. This podcast here...
A prime example.
Hello. It's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So these are conversations that need to be had. Like, I don't know all the answers. I don't have all the answers. If someone had all the answers, someone else would have totally different answers. So I think it's just about being able to create a space where you can have these conversations, like with your friends, your coworkers, your clients, most important. Because delicious Red Bull Wildberry, guys. But I think what we want to do here is create a space for conversation to happen. Because we're not going to have all the answers.
Yeah.
A big thing we learned in school was cultural humility is like a huge concept. Hello. But I think cultural competency is also commonly used. But cultural humility, like the whole point is like, you are never going to understand everything about a certain like community, culture, identity, whatever. But what you have to do is like be actively listening, like be willing to open yourself and listen and accept. And then when you get this information, like it's important to reflect like on yourself. Critical self-reflection is like a huge component of cultural humility. So I feel like this is a space to like better hone that. So we're just talking, we're yapping. Like, we're going to have it based in, like, evidence and stuff. I did so much research before starting this. So I want it to be based in fact, but at the same time, it's a conversation and everyone's experience is different. Client-centered care, OT, like, that's our core thing, you know?
Our bread and butter.
It's our bread and butter, some would say. So I think it's just important that everything we say, like, it's not fact, okay? We want to be as accurate as possible, but at the same time, like, fact could be someone else's. It couldn't be their tea, you know?
Exactly.
It may not be. And tea, oh gosh, is this the time to, like, explain definitions like this? Tea is just, like, the truth, but it could also be the gossip, you know? These are things you need to learn. OTs out there watching. If you're going to interact with some queer person,
they're going to talk another language.
They're going to speak another language.
There's going to be a curve and a certain amount of time that will take for you to really, like, catch on and understand. And sometimes you will never catch on. And that's okay,
hasn't,
too.
Yeah.
As long as you're culturally humble and you listen more than you talk.
Period.
Like I am in this podcast. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to listen.
But why are you talking?
Well, I'm talking some, but I'm listening more.
And she's listening actively, guys.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of new definitions, and if you don't know, look it up. Like it's like tea is like the truth. Tea can also be the gossip.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
The drama.
So I have this book here. It's called The Queen's English, and it just has like a bunch of like queer slang in there, which I really love. There's some words in there I've never heard of, I don't use, but obviously some people do. So it's just cool. It's entertaining too. Like I don't just like reading for readings.
Is tea in there?
Tea is definitely in there.
Can you read it to us?
Yeah, let's read the people what tea means. Oh, hello. It's here. Everyone. I was looking up tea, like sipping tea, you know? Mm-hmm. So what's the tea is what I found it under. So you're going to have to explore this whole book to find stuff, you know? And it's spelt just the letter T, not TEA, which I don't do personally.
Yeah.
So what's the tea? It's an idiom, everyone. And it's a phrase used to ask someone about current events or the latest going-ons in one's life. Tea refers to the truth. The phrase, what's the goodie, can also be used. So an example in a sentence, what's the tea? You moving to Atlanta or nah? That's in here. That's okay. So if you want more info thing, what's the deal or what's the gossip? So, and it's also, there's like usage notes in here. I really love this book. It's actually so good. So not just the gays say tea. Like it has been, as I will say this, I feel like a lot of like queer slang or just what's it called? Pop culture, current culture.
Like vernacular.
Vernacular comes from like queer spaces. So keep that in mind.
I concur.
Like, hello. The straight woman concurs, everyone. I think we got it right. So, yeah, Queen's English. Check it out. I got it on Amazon for like $10. There's also like a young person's version when I was looking. There's like, I guess, more age appropriate for the younger crowd. Mm-hmm. So if you have a client or kid or something that wants to learn about like queer cultures and definitions and stuff, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
It makes a cute coffee table book as
well.
Hello.
So things we're going to cover, like, for example, like sexual orientation. What is that? Gender identity. What is that? Are those the same things? No, they're not. And we're going to talk about that. So just stuff like that, kind of basics. Talking about microaggressions. I think I want to do that early on. Just like, what is a microaggression? And it's like, am I using my microaggressions? Maybe. Probably. If you're any of my probably. So I'm going to cut that out.
Oh, roll that back.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to talk about that. Social determinants of health. I'm assuming we're talking to like healthcare people. Like the deliverable, I want to talk to the OT practitioners, you know, out there. But if anyone else listens, like listen in, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you no.
But, like I'm going to try to use words like OT people, and I'm sure a lot of healthcare people know this or whatever. But like social determinants of health in the queer community. Just want to talk about, like, there's a lot of letters, right? And there's a plus sign. Yes, the queer community is a community as a whole, like there's a big umbrella, but at the same time, the subcultures of each letter and then the subcultures of the subcultures, it gets so complicated. And there's
nuanced.
So nuanced. And there's just a lot of different things that occur within each subculture and subculture of subculture, so on and so forth. And then on top of that, throw in intersectionality of identities. So let's say you have a gay man that's also trans, that's also black, that's also Muslim. Like, throw
Do they
in
have
other,
those?
They have them. They have them. They're out there. They're out there. And the more you add minority identities, the harder it's going to be because you're fighting a lot of different battles. Hopefully we're going to be able to talk about that a little bit. We're going to have discussions on social determinants of health. You know, that trickle down affects everything. So physical health, mental health, I want to talk about. And of course, we're going to incorporate OT into all of it. Like, we're going to OTify all these conversations, OQify all these conversations.
Oh.
A really big thing I saw in the literature, or a lack of things I saw in the literature, is there's not a lot of queer education being done in the OT curriculum. You can teach cultural humility all day. The best way to learn about a certain culture is to just be exposed to it. And I think there's a huge lack of exposure. There's a huge gap in curriculum as far as addressing queer individuals goes. So I think my mentors are going to come on. OT After Dark, shout out. I'm wanting to have my mentors on from OT After Dark to discuss. They're both professors, OT. So I'm wanting to have them on and to discuss how we can incorporate queer education, sexuality into OT curriculums. Hi, Sam. That's disgusting.
I hope the audience heard that.
Sam, off camera, go. That's yucky.
If anybody heard that and you're wondering what that was, he just burped into the mic.
Yeah.
Thank you, really Sam. Good stuff.
Powerful.
Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam will come on from time to time. He has a lot of thoughts he wants to tell people about. So, is there anything else? Like, we kind of talked about the capstone. Okay. Is there anything you want to say?
Not really.
You can speak. Go ahead.
I'm allowed now?
Yeah. Speak, Valentina.
You know, I really don't have anything. I will say a thought that I had whenever you first started talking, you were talking about how, like, you were kind of more insecure, definitely in high school and undergrad, and, like, unsure of yourself and a little bit ashamed of being gay. Yeah. But whenever I met you, because we met whenever we started OT school in, like, what year was that? 2022? Yeah. That's so crazy that was so long ago. It does not feel like it was that long ago, but it also feels like it was forever ago. So time is weird.
It's nuanced. It certainly is.
Complex. But I will say, whenever I met you, I did not see any of those things. Like, you truly just, like, from my perspective, you were just a fully formed, fully, you know, like, confident gay.
Oh, gay is the noun. I thought yeah. End of sentence.
Yeah, period. So I know, like, you might feel some type of way on the inside, but that is not what you give off. And I know, like, it's how you feel about yourself that really, like, matters. But from my perspective, you, like, were owning it. And it, to me, it seemed like you had always owned it, you know?
Period. I give a good illusion. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Definitely a work in progress. We're still working on it, but I think even looking at the research and stuff is, like, ridiculous as it sounds. Like, I think it gave me, like, a better understanding of queerness, which is, that sounds so corny, but it's true.
It's not, though.
It's not corny. It's real. It's real corny. It can be both. But, like, I think doing this podcast will really help. I'm super excited to, like, jump into this. I'm hoping to have a guest on. I don't think I mentioned that. But I did in the trailer. Listen to the trailer.
Guests who are actually in the community or very knowledgeable about the community.
Exactly.
Which I'm really neither.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it only.
But she just happened to be sitting next to me on the couch.
Yeah, we do live together, and we are snowed in. So this is just like I was the only option besides Sam, who just burps into the mic.
It's the best I could get on such short notice, guys.
We can only go up from here, guys. This is our rock bottom.
The bar is down low, guys, and I just want to continue to surprise. We're gonna continue to like go up the ladder. This is baseline, everyone. So,
thank you. That really means a lot to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some guests. Like I have some queer people lined up. I have a straight man.
No! No!
What is a man doing here?
Help!
My professor, he's my mentor, my capstone mentor, one of my best friends. He does happen to be a straight white man, and I'm sorry. Hey, we love you, Mr. Hansen. We do. He will probably be on the podcast at some point. He definitely will at some point.
And so. we hate to say it. We hate to give a straight white man credit, but he really does know what he's talking about. And I think I trust him with my life. And with yours as well.
Thank you. I trust him with your life, too.
Thank you. That probably didn't even be said.
Anyways, I was so scared. I was like, is that recording? It is recording. I was scared it wasn't. I'm like, how long have we been going? We're just yapping. Guys, we just happen to be recording. This is usually like how the day goes.
Yeah.
Especially on a snow day. We have nothing to do. We're just sitting like.
We could live stream us watching Glee.
There's a lot of watching a Glee. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of divide. She listens to podcasts. I watch Drag Race. I'm a big Drag Race fan. Mm-hmm. This is a get to know me episode, get to know my capstone. Let me just talk for a second.
Yeah.
So like huge Glee fan, also a huge Drag Race fan. I've seen like every episode multiple times. Okay, Sam's just laying down on the ground. I try to get Sam to watch Drag Race with me. I don't know if he's into it. He supports me in whatever I do. Mm-hmm. Sam's the dog. I don't know. Did I introduce Sam? Yeah. But Sam's just chilling. I try to get him into Drag Race. I don't think he's into it. Mm-hmm. But he's a supporter. He's certainly
he doesn't get it, but he is okay with it, and he supports it.
And that's all we ask. That's all we can ask for. So, yeah, really big. What are we even talking about?
I don't know. Is there anything in our atmosphere?
Let's just look around. Is there anything we can talk about, guys?
We can have like an Antiques Roadshow portion where we just show.
We love a good thrift, guys. We love a good thrift. That's more about me.
Everything in front of you has been thrifted or bought from an antique store, an estate sale. Aside from the books.
The books were.
Yeah.
We hate to support big business, but sometimes you got to do it. Hello.
Believe it.
That is a slur.
Yeah.
Big business? No. Mm-hmm. We try not to, but
we need to hold our horses. We're taking a lot of stances. I think this is going to be fun. It's going to be educational. I think we're going to cry a little. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to make a lot of friends along the way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I don't think we could end it any better.
Right. We should just.
But maybe we could try. Maybe we could try.
We could sing.
Don't tell me not to live. Just
No, I was gonna sing "Defying Gravity."
Go ahead.
Let me think of a starting point, because there are so many starting like ways you could start that song, or different points.
For sure.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave.
Let's change it to. Maybe we can do it. It's time to try occupational queerpy.
It's time to try occupational queerpy. I think I'll try occupational queerpy.
free, and soon they'll watch me on Spotify.
And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was,
no straight man that there is
or was, is ever gonna bring me
down.
I hope you're happy.
Look at him, he's a gay.
Kill him. Bring
me. Whoa. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back with another episode. I will. Taylor, you won't see her again. See ya.